Hello, I'm Steve Skancke, Chief Economic Advisor at Keel Point, and I'm pleased to share our thoughts about how recent economic news in the U.S. conflict with Iran are impacting U.S. financial markets. The U.S. economy has remained remarkably resilient despite higher energy prices and uncertainty around resolving the U.S. Iran conflict. S&P 500 earnings forecasts have been strong despite disappointing semiconductor earnings results last week. Non-farm payroll gains in May of 172,000 were twice the growth amount that markets expected. These gains, along with continuing high inflation, are creating upward pressure on interest rates. Markets switched from seeing one or two Fed rate cuts this year to expecting one or two Fed rate hikes instead, beginning as early as September. May CPI inflation came in higher than expected, further feeding investor sentiment that interest rates were set to rise further. Coupled with an unraveling of the U.S. Iran ceasefire and an escalation of bombings, stock markets reacted by selling off further. Real wage growth has been eclipsed by inflation, feeding falling consumer sentiment. So far, this hasn't created a problem for economic growth, but it remains a concern. The Federal Reserve meetings on June 16-17 will provide a first look at the influence of the new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh. In the Fed meeting announcement, the updated summary of economic projections, and Mr. Warsh's after-meeting press conference. We remain hopeful that the conflict with Iran will show some improvement next week, and movement towards another ceasefire and reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. Until that happens, financial markets will remain volatile. The SpaceX IPO on Friday, June 12th, is bringing excitement to financial markets, but it will also increase market volatility over the next week or so. A well-constructed, diversified investment portfolio should continue to perform well as we move through the current period of heightened uncertainty. If anyone has questions about their own portfolios, our Keel Point team would be happy to address them.